Welcome back, weebs. A bell from a bell notable here to present you with another top 10. For today's list, we will be looking at the top 10 animes where enemies become lovers. But before we jump in, make sure to subscribe and hit that bell icon to stay notified. Also, don't forget to check out our official website, weloveanimesensei.com, linked in the description box down below. And lastly, we also have a Discord server where we host lots of exciting events, so you definitely don't want to miss out. Okay, let's jump in. 10. Yoli Onoy and Ichikoji, Digimon. This franchise was created in 1997 as a series of virtual pets akin to and influenced in style by the contemporary Tamagotchi or Nanogiga pets. Yoli Onoy, the eldest and confident daughter of Digidestined, and Ichikoji, the blunt and cold boy who has family issues, were shown to be married at the end of Digimon Fusion. Although we were unable to see their relationship grow, fans are happy to see that they ended up together. 9. Kaska and Guts, Berserk. Set in a medieval Europe-inspired dark fantasy world, the story centers around the character of Guts, a lone mercenary, and Griffith, the leader of a mercenary band called the Band of Hawk. While Kaska used to feel strongly for the leader of the group, Griffith, due to his saving her as a child, she eventually diverges to Guts. While initially jealous of Guts because of Griffith's attachment to him, she gradually begins to fall for him. 8. Maou and Yusha, Arc Enemy and Hero. A 12-episode anime adaptation by ARMS aired in Japan from January 5th to March 30th, 2013. The series follows the exploits of a human hero and a queen of demons who join forces to bring peace and prosperity to their war-torn world. Although the hero denies her plans and thinks it's a trap, the demon queen is unrelenting in her efforts. They eventually fall in love and make the world a better place together. 7. Sakura Kinomoto and Sauron Lee, Cardcaptor Sakura. The story focuses on Sakura Kinomoto, an elementary school student in Japan who discovers magical powers after accidentally freeing a set of magical cards. Now she must retrieve the cards to prevent catastrophe. After Sakura becomes the Cardcaptor of the Cloud Cards, Sauron is introduced in the series in about the 5th episode as an antagonist. He frequently gets in Sakura's way and even steals a couple of Cloud Cards from her. Although Sakura and Sauron are a cute couple who blush at the sight of each other, they were not always this way in the original series. 6. ᴛᴏᴘɪᴄ and Vegeta Nu, Code Geass. The series follows the exiled prince Lelouch v Britannia, who obtains the power of absolute obedience from a mysterious woman named Cece. Using this supernatural power known as Geass, he leads a rebellion against the rule of the Holy Britannian Empire, commanding a series of mecha battles. The love story between ᴛᴏᴘɪᴄ and Vegeta Nu in Code Geass is both heartwarming and tragic. Vegeta is a Britannian and Kanagi is the leader of a Japanese resistance group. While the Japanese and Britannians are fighting against each other, Kanagi seems to care for both sides. 5. Shuko Nishimaya and Shuya Ishida, A Silent Voice. A 2016 Japanese animated teen drama produced by Kyoto Animation, directed by Naoko Yamada, and written by Riko Yoshida, featuring character designs from Futoshi Nishiya and music from Kensuke Ushuyo. The story is based on a grade school student, Shuko Nishimaya, with impaired hearing who is mercilessly bullied by fellow student Shuya Ishida. She eventually transfers to another school, but years later Shuko sets out to make amends. Through this, the two slowly begin to develop a more positive and romantic relationship with no bullying involved. 4. Yuzuru Otonashi and Kanade Tachibana, Angel Beats. Yuzuru Otonashi and Kanade Tachibana of Angel Beats are enemies largely because they don't understand each other. When Otonashi wakes up in the afterlife, he's told Kanade is a destroying angel who forces people to leave the afterlife before they're ready. As he gets to know her, he realizes that she isn't a monster. She just oversees the inevitable process of the afterlife, as everyone must eventually move on. It turns out that the two are deeply connected. When Otonashi died, Kanade received his heart during a transplant, allowing her to live slightly longer than she might have otherwise. As these facts come to light, the two grow closer and begin to develop romantic feelings for each other. 3. Chitogi Kirasaki and Raku Ichijo, Nisekoi. Chitogi Kirasaki and Raku Ichijo of Nisekoi were originally forced to fake a relationship to please their gangster dads. Unfortunately, they didn't get along at all, so putting on a good show was more than a little bit challenging. Over time, the two begin to realize that they don't actually hate each other, and they actually have a lot in common. Raku ends up rejecting Onodera, the girl that he's been in love with for years, in favor of Chitogi, and by the end of the series, they even get married. 2. Ayano Kanagi and Kazuma Yagami, Kaze no Stigma. The last thing the arrogant second cousins of Kaze no Stigma expect is to end up falling in love, but that's exactly what happens to Ayano Kanagi and Kazuma Yagami. When the two first meet, Ayano is annoyed because her father asked Kazuma to accompany her on a demon hunting trip. In her opinion, she's perfectly capable of handling herself, but as the two fight together and learn about each other, they figure out how to get along. Kazuma even starts flirting with Ayano, and although she's initially irritated by this, she eventually responds positively to his advances, and by the end of the series, they're in a romantic relationship. And at number 1, we have Vegeta and Bulma, Dragon Ball Z. For many Dragon Ball Z fans, Vegeta and Bulma seem like an extremely unlikely pairing. The alien Vegeta starts off the series absolutely hating humans, and wants nothing more than to defeat his fellow Saiyan Goku. After being forced to work with Goku and his friends to defeat Frieza, his personality begins to soften, even building relationships with humans, including Bulma. Once he stops being so villainous, she's able to see the good in him, and the two eventually get married. Well, that wraps up today's video. If you enjoyed the list, make sure to hit the like button and don't forget to subscribe. We'll be back with more interesting top 10s, but until then, take care and sayonara.